Alrighty, welcome everyone. I'm Tiabua. It is Monday, and I am here for Retro Monday Overdrive once more. I thought I was going to shake it up, mix things up, and watch something totally dramatically different. And I went looking, and I found a couple of things, but my journeys and my searching kept bringing me right back to where I started. So, I thought I was going to mix things up, but instead we are going to continuing on by watching the only through line that we've had recently, which is that we've been watching a series of Masamune Shirow works, and I'd like to watch another. We're really doing a pretty good job of knocking out the earliest of Shirow's anime adaptations, and that's exactly what I want to do in this next step here, as we turn our attention to something that was advertised to us in the end of the VHS or Laserdisc tape that we got for Blackmagic M66, Dominion Tank Police. There are two Dominion Tank Polices. There's Dominion Tank Police, and then there's New Dominion Tank Police, and there's about a 5-year gap between them. We are, of course, going to start with the OG Dominion Tank Police. That puts us right in the same year as Appleseed. 1 year later from Blackmagic M66, same year as Appleseed. Appleseed OVA comes out, and Dominion comes out 1988 as well. It will be, again, 5 years until 1993 before Tokusatsu Senshatai Dominion, New Dominion Tank Police, ends up coming out. And it will be a couple years after that finally Ghost in the Shell will hit screens and change everything, sort of. But in the interim is Dominion. And Dominion is, like, beloved. It's people love this shit. In a similar way to people loving, like, like Bubblegum Crisis, where there's like a nostalgic element to it, but then also a I love this and it's cool kind of element to it. It hits this zone of anime that's goofy enough and then serious enough, and hasn't really centered itself in sort of the serious worlds that Shiro will end up drawing and creating, but has a bit more of that silliness to it, in a way that Patlabor kind of does, where our characters are humanized and flawed, and we're capable of diving into that, but they're against this backdrop of a futuristic, interesting society. I'm really intrigued by see what Dominion Tank Police looks and feels like, because there are so many things about it that are, like, obvious threads that will become the core threads of later works like Ghost in the Shell. Like, I think Ghost in the Shell standalone complex is a 20 years later-ish rehashing of Dominion Tank Police. Again, we've got a city, we've got these police forces with access to cool technology, and they ride around in these sort of tank things, and they solve problems. They solve crimes and do detective investigative works and stuff, and it creates the same foundations that are the foundations of shows like Psycho-Pass. But where did it start, and what's different about it here in the background? When we watched Appleseed, we came to a couple of conclusions, like, okay, well, we have the girl who's the police officer and the competent, and we have the robot, and eventually we see those two lines, the two characters lose their separation. They become integrated, they become one thing, and the questions about, like, personhood and existence and sentience and stuff all come together once we mishmash those two things together. But in Dominion, we've still got the girl in the tank, right? The girl is not the tank. The pilot is not the robot. The robot is not your mom. It's just a tank, right? We're a stage earlier than the thrust of things, right? Like, I think, to my mind, the thrust of things starts with Gunbuster. It starts a bit before that. There are a couple of other shows that have the substrate of all the information necessary for this, like, through line of animated ideas that fascinates me so much, that has to do a lot with, like, sentient pilot child gets in father's robot and pilots it around to self-actualize. It's like a really interesting psychological story to me. But there are precursors to that story. There are always precursors to stories. When we look into our history, any, like, grandly impactful development to our types of narratives has, like, 100 years of people trying at it, kind of, and having little elements that are mixed in. This is one of those elements. Dominion Tank Police. There's a girl, there's a city, there's a tank. We like tanks. I like tanks. I like tanks enough that at some point I'm going to watch Girls in Panzer, and it'll probably be here on Monday, so, yeah, mentioned for that for the people who think that I've forgotten. I haven't forgotten. It's just hard to... I don't know how to watch those OVAs. They're weird. So, Dominion Tank Police is directed by two people together. One being Takaki Ishiyama, who I'm not really familiar with, but storyboarded some episodes of Berserk. And one being Koichi Mashimo, who would go on to found B-Train, the studio responsible for Phantom Requiem for the Phantom, a show which I actually really like and would love to revisit at some point, because there's so much going on there, as well as a bunch of garbage, absolute garbage, but also a bunch of amazing stuff. So there's a whole mishmash, but is also somebody who worked on Dirty Pair, and directed iCity, directed the Dirty Pair movie, and then directed Dominion, and then would go on from there to direct a whole bunch of other stuff, and eventually form Studio B-Train. Is really a foundational director of the 90s, I think, with Bakuretsu Hunters, and Musekinin Kancho Taylor, which is The Irresponsible Captain Tyler, which is very popular. There's like a whole bunch that he's done, and none of it is very familiar to me, with the exception of Dirty Pair. But I can see a real through line between Dirty Pair's style and what I've seen of Dominion Tank Police so far, and the kind of like gonzo action comedy backed by sort of hard sci-fi, semi-hard sci-fi. I don't know. I don't know. I'm gonna give it a watch. That's the whole idea here, is that I've got Dominion Tank Police. Act 1 is what episode 1 is called. And I went and downloaded the GB version because they appear to be remastered, and that sounds good. Has taken the best sources possible, retail DVDs and online files, remastered the videos, cleaned up the images, and made them look better to me anyway. A lot of people seem to agree, and I hope that they are fucking awesome. I really do. So, let's dive into Dominion Tank Police and see if it's any good. See if this version of it is any good, and see if it even lands, given the time separation. Usually things from this era end up landing really well, and Shiro's works tend to be so prescient and so, I don't know, so intriguing in their setting elements that I just get sucked into them. I just slide right into the world that he presents, and I'm like, okay, yeah, it's a city, and I understand it, and I'm fine with that. Let's go ahead and give it a watch and see if any of that comes to fruition. I've got episode 1 of Dominion Tank Police, Act 1, up and ready to go. There'll be 2 versions, picture-in-picture in the description, timer on YouTube, beep timer to count it down. Let's go. Kind of gunbustery. That's cool. Oh. Okay, we're just gonna, fix that. U.S. Marshal. So, tanks drop crime rate, but they increase deaths, but not much. That's true. But we're showing, like, history of policing. That would be great. Oh, I know. Huh. Uh-huh. But you're at war with the populace. Okay. So the technology is too strong, is kind of the idea. So that's why they're so many. Holy fuck! Okay, I think he is a little crazy. I think maybe he's got the wrong idea. Of course. But why not try? Why not murder everybody just to get us close? To fight the bad guys. Huh, but it's here. We're really fitting this into the... Oh, shit. It's already a war. Crime Brigade. Is that our subtitle? It must be. Yes. 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 Oh, shit. That's really cool. Oh, wow. I really liked that. The two sections coming together. I don't think I've ever seen that. That's crazy. That's so simple. Oh, shit. It's the cat girls who sell the manga. Because if you look at the manga cover for Dominion Tank Police, it's just the cat girls on the front, just being all sexy, and then they never show up. What? So she ends up being put in this, like, much smaller tank. I love the background moving to the beat. Some of these animation moments are gorgeous, too. Fuck. We're definitely in the gonzo space where it's like anything can explode. It explodes. Bunch of important characters there, it explodes. City center, it explodes. The police station, explodes. Good. Looks like people are obeying traffic laws. Oh wow, gas masks. That's really interesting. Oh, stealing their gas masks. Cool cityscape. I like the use of these big sweeping sounds to introduce the city, too. I get a real sense of the scale of the city here. I like it. Better than our previous couple, too. A wee woo. A wee woo mobile. These are the criminals. I like their designs. The shuddering up and down really sucks. Wonder if he's got a gun arm under there or something. Oh, put that away. How are we building all these goop buildings? I wonder how we do construction these days. Yeah, seems legit. So why is this hospital, down for now? It's a research hospital? It's what? Your arm has a bunch of guns in it. It means there's a machine gun pointed at you, buddy. Okay, we're shooting. We're blowing this hospital to bits. Why? I thought we were gonna steal some stuff. AD police. Oh, shit. What the fuck? Oh. We're just playing this off as a joke, huh? Oh, shit. Nope. We're playing this off as torture. Is he golfing with a gun? Pointing the barrel at his head? Oh. Hey, are we supposed to be torturing this guy? How to kill. Guts, kid, guts. Oh my god, that gun's gonna go off. Do you really want a grenade explosion in this room? I was sure that nothing was gonna happen, but oh my god, that was scary. What the fuck? What a way of escalating insanity immediately. This is as 80s as it gets. A new, right? The new recruit. What a name. I wonder if he's the romance partner. They're not. They're gonna give you a little tank? Are they gonna give her a little tank because she's a girl? That sucks. Aw. Aw, what a sweet person. Oh, fuck. Uh, uh. Guys! No playing with high explosives. What the fuck? Also, what the fuck are we doing here in this hospital? Vapor. Oh. Is that why everybody has gas masks? Oh, fuck. Oh. Infected? Perfectly healthy people. Oh, we are here to steal something. Does it make you immune? Oh boy. Just march right back away. That's so dumb. God, this is full of clever, dumb shit. I'm really enjoying it. I didn't think I was going to enjoy this much. I didn't think it would be this silly. We're showing catgirl stuff. We're dancing? We're going to do a song and dance number? Yeah, we are. You gotta be fucking kidding me. We're doing a stripping number with the catgirls. Good. I'm sorry. They're doing this at gunpoint. Bunch of cops at gunpoint. I think these characters might be playing a TTRPG. Like, they may just be making a persuasion check. Or performance, I suppose. What the fuck? It's incredibly sexy, too. Which is rare. Usually sexy stuff is, like, kind of weird in this era's anime. This is really cool. Oh, where'd they go? Oh, they're suits. It's not nudity. Holy fuck. I think this is awesome. This is insane. That was the most insane heist I have ever seen. Is this a tank? Mountain. Who dis? It's a big baddie. Maybe a gang? It just churns through the fucking street itself. Oh wow, this is our tank. We're just tearing up the streets to... But everyone else. Of course, of course. Unmoving. Yeah, it's just par for the course. The cigarette just flying out of his face. You can't save them all. Oh. Okay. She is a lot like the Potlimore character. Oh, their last name is Boomba? A crime? She's gonna get shot. Yep. Oh, fuck! He's gonna survive that, right? Because it just knocked him back and didn't explode? Holy shit. You're driving now, girl. You're a natural, Leona. What a cool little face frame of her, like, getting prepared. We're avenging you, sir. You can thank us later. So how much more damage do we cause than the criminals? Oh, fuck. I think it's amazing. I think the idea that the police are destroying everything around, like, all the time, is wonderful. Oh, fuck. Oh. 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 Fucking turbo tank. Okay. Okay. It's gonna fall on top. Oh. 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 My tank special. Shit, and they get away. We did it, guys. Another successful day as the police. Oh, that's fine. What a monster. Oh shit, she's going. She's gonna try to shoot them? It's a hell of a shot, Leona. Holy shit! Just randomly into the middle of the city! She has the shot, right? Insane. Fucking sane. It's gonna explode. Oh god. Yep. Okay. Alright, bye-bye. Good. But all the stolen stuff is broken. Awesome. I love them. I love them. They're wonderful. There's still like 10 minutes left in the episode. You just take, yeah, pass it down. Oh, he's pass it down. No, you blew up my tank. Biotank. A real tank. I see. Okay, so these are different. They're biotanks. Kind of seem to suck. Seemed really bad at our job, you know? I can. We introduced this character with torture. Have at it, Mr. Macho. Did you just get schooled by a tiny child? Yes. Yes, you did. Whoa! Whoa, whoa, whoa. We're dueling. We're dueling. L'hôpital. Again. Now we actually piece together what they were after and stuff. You know, do some police work. So what is it? When he says perfectly healthy human being, what does he mean, though? Wait, but what does it do? There's, like, gotta be a reason for that. So, no. So wait, why are we doing this? Why are we doing this research? And what does that mean? People who are immune? We're trying to figure out why they're so healthy, right? Oh my god. What a bad policeman. Completely does not find out what the thing was. There was information there, you dick! You dink donk. Sad and alone times. So where's she from? Like, what's her story? How did she get here? And why does she want this? Scrapyard. With a big tank in it, yeah. Little shimmeries. Hmm. Which guy is this? It's not the blonde. What's up with the gas masks? And why doesn't she seem to need one? Oh, it's this guy. Only to that tank. He put a ring on the gun. Yeah. This is cute. This is cute. Tub in there. And so will I. I already have. Like, this has been really, really good. A lot cooler than I thought it was going to be. Oh, is that the tank itself on the scrapyard? Scrap heap? I think it must be. Cleaning? Is he talking about the doctor? Oh. Oh. We all are. That's what normal is. That's super interesting. Wait, what? Okay. Yes. Well, they didn't. They did then. We're losing that information now. But they don't get it at all. Huh. So mostly people are just sort of inured to it. Huh. And we're trying to figure out why. That's really interesting. This is like... This is close to the layer that I need. Hmm. Oh, your poor boy. Otto! Of course. Hmm. Yeah! Yeah! Alright, sweet. That's how we're gonna do it. Cause it's a little guy with a with a Napoleon complex. De vaque. No, hard no. He's so funny. He's so funny. Ooh. I want to know who his voice actor is. He's so good. I wonder if he's in Gosenzo Samobon Banzai. That's my call. Yes. That was a fun cut. What do you think, Leona? How about no? Wonder what this transition was about. What are we setting up here? Completely unknown. To be continued. And it shall be continued. Because that was awesome. I didn't expect it to be this awesome. I thought that the animation wasn't going to hit its mark. First off. I thought it was going to feel older than it is. In part because the preview that we saw of the Laserdisc didn't look quite as stellar. But this feels closer to the Patlabor level of quality than not. But mixed in with that is something that Patlabor lacks, which is the Gonzo insanity. Because Patlabor is dedicated to being realistic. Real robots, real cities, real humans, real capabilities, real struggles, real threats. This is not dedicated to those things, and it makes the best use of it that it possibly could. What do I mean by that? I mean, we take this episode and it's like, what can we inject into this episode to make it cooler? Or more fun? Or sillier? Or more interesting? Giant tanks! Absurdity! Sexy dances in the middle of a firefight! Fuck yeah! Crazy heists that don't make any sense! Absurd scenes of people with machine guns doing blah, 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 blah. Like, diving all the way in on the over-the-top, total explosion, gonzo insanity, guns everywhere. The tanks carve fucking foot-deep trenches into the city streets that they're trying to protect. It's absurd, layered on top of absurd, layered on top of absurd, and all of it is rendered at a level of fidelity and quality that makes me want to believe it. That's what it is, because this level of absurdity we've gotten before, and there's one place where it comes up, and that's Dirty Pair, and that's where I really do see the through line now. Is like, oh, Dirty Pair and this have a lot in common, in that we set up this mission situation, set of circumstances, players, things, right? And then we make everything go wild, and our characters make silly choices in that. And they're able to say lines that are self-deprecating or humorous or really fun and funny. And, like, because we've created this background that can go anywhere, that can hold a more serious style and can hold a much less serious style, it all backs itself up. It all ends up feeling coherent in its incoherence. There's like a threshold that you can cross over, where on one side of the threshold, the things that don't fit stand out and they break your story. But on the other side of the threshold, everything doesn't fit in a way that not fitting becomes the fit. Yeah? Where, like, all the elements are part of a club together, and the fact that you wouldn't think that they would go together means that anything can be added in. And that's the, like, but there's a line beyond that, at which point it becomes too crazy, right? It becomes too absurdist, too avant-garde, too abstract. There's sort of a narrow band in between, where we can bounce between realism and abstraction, and seriousness and silliness, and we can hit this realm where it's absurd enough that almost anything can go and fly without being questioned, but it's real enough that we don't lose our sense of disbelief suspension. And I think we do that by scaling up the ridiculousness throughout the episode, and by starting us at a point of solid ridiculousness. There are some elements that really fucking stand out to me about the way that this is set up. Elements that don't necessarily feel very Shiro-y either, which I think is really interesting. Maybe it just expands my understanding of who Masamune Shiro really is and what he's capable of. Okay, let's dive through and break down a couple of elements. I want to break down pieces of our, like, framing for the world and pieces of our introductions to the characters, because it felt like our initial couple minutes of introductions, once we end this historical sequence, our initial couple minutes of introductions to the characters were really exceptionally tight. Like, I'm surprised how much information I know about all of our characters without seeing them do very much. And I want to pinpoint that, because it's like, that's the kind of pithy writing that's difficult and really, really cool to me. So let's start here. We bring in the tanks. They reduce crime immensely, but they increase tank-related deaths pretty significantly. We're already in a world where shit's pretty fucked, right? So we're able to justify stuff like that, right? There's gang violence, there's all this violence in the streets, there's all this crime. Civilians aren't getting killed a lot by tank-related stuff, just a little, and that's an acceptable number. This is a really good analog to all policing ever, right? Because it's the trade-off of policing. And we are in a world and era right now, 40 years-ish after this was released, where these ideas are right at the forefront of the mind and imagination. Should we have militarized police? They sure do crack down on crime. Man, that'll reduce crime rates, won't it? Yeah, but there's a trade-off. Any sort of policing comes with a trade-off. You're going to be killing people, and you're going to be jailing innocents, and you're going to be causing fear and terror and stuff. And the more militarized and the more at war your police is with its populace, the worse that's going to be. So we establish a bad version of that here, I think. Here's this world that's got all sorts of struggles. Okay, there we go. Now I can get the subs to come up. Traffic accidents or bacterial poisoning. We should be recognized for our work, but the voters can turn against us. But no, they'll see the wisdom. Why can't you protect everybody, even the criminals? That's crap. You can't cut out the cancer without shedding some blood. And you shouldn't be using enormous tanks for your surgery. Right? This is a good argument. This is hacksaw bullshit. Sterilize your scalpel. And in a way, that's kind of what the Bonaparte might be, right? Like, that's what our character might bring to this is like a different angle from the machismo tank police that are like, murder everything, destroy, explosions, big tanks. She's like, what about a little tank that works better? That doesn't tear up the streets and stuff. How about that? What about like cars? How about a cop car? No? Okay. Our tanks are toothpicks. They're not effective. Okay. These giant war machines aren't very effective? Maybe because we shouldn't be at war with our population. But that's not the idea here. We're so far down this path that this is normalized. That's the society that we've built out. Is like, everybody's used to the gas masks and the bacteria and the terror of getting run over by a giant tank every day. It's normal. It's just how it goes. Like, in America, a lot of people are used to wondering whether they're going to get shot by an officer of the law today. It just happens. It's the way it goes. And we've sort of normalized to that, and that's pretty fucked up. And here we present a more ridiculous version of that and say, this is pretty fucked up, isn't it? Yes. Yes, it is. I wouldn't mind sending them out with atomic bombs instead of guns. It's so absurd. It's so absurd. It's like, who would ever say anything like this? And then you go on Twitter. You go on Twitter and you're like, every police officer should be armed with high-powered weaponry and bulletproof vehicles. Okay? And then you go a little further. It's like, we should nuke the ghettos. You find that on Twitter. Real people really saying that. People in positions of power. Elected officials. It's like, this is ridiculous. It's not, though. That's not ridiculous at all. That the people are saying it is, but that they would be saying it? Not a joke. If A-bombs can deter wars, they can deter crimes. But of course, we'll never completely deter crime. This is such an interesting perspective. It's like, yeah, this thing's inevitable, but we should it doesn't matter what we fucking give up. We should try to eliminate it as much as we can. What? You gave us the tanks to fight the bad guys. We knew that it was a bad law, but it is the law. We must be on the front lines. I don't need a cure. I just want more tanks. And then we introduce the character and match these voices up with the people who are actually yelling. What a perfect police commissioner. Just absolutely wired and fried. Eyes bugging out. Furious. Incredible. I think it's really great. The OP is really cool. Like, song is awesome. Hits the 90s mark, and then it's chock full of really awesome elements like silhouette becomes framed. I feel like that's in like, oh man, is it Yas? I don't know. It must not. No, it's not Yasuhiko Yoshikazu. There's a film with a guy with a gun arm. Is it Kawajiri? I don't know. There's something like this somewhere else, and I don't know where it is. Where the blast of the thing illuminates the character. I think it's awesome. I think it's really cool. It stands out, and then it's followed up immediately after by another amazingly standout cut, where these two frames go sideways, separate, pop into existence, and then she turns and clicks her two face parts together. Ding! And we... That's so cool. That's so cool. I love it so much. What an interesting thing. I like these character introductions. I think they're cool too. Meet all the bad guys. Meet all the good guys. Got some weird stuff going on here. I don't know who this creepo who's creeping on her is, but then he's like gonna kiss her, but then it's the bad guy, which is really cute and weird. It's like very silly. And then we're doing this running, jumping tank sequence that I think is really awesome looking, and I can't wait to see Bonaparte riding around being a cool tank. I think this is great. Like, big action sequence, and then I love the text moving on the beat. Fuck. Oh, and then driving across the giant stars. Yeah. Dominion Tank Police. So already from the first couple minutes, our world is set up. We get our visual introduction to our characters and style, kind of, through the OP as well. I think at this point, I'm already in love with the show to a level, and then it just gets bigger and badder and better from there. We pan over to this, like, sideways traffic light, and immediately I thought it was, like, destroyed, but it's just the way that everything is here. It's, like, a little bit dilapidated, but then built on top of itself, you know? And people do their city shit. Everything goes on normally. Gas masks or no. How fucking interesting is that? Living in a masked up, quarantined, social distance contagion city, kind of. Fucking interesting. I think we spend more time here than I expected just doing panning shots of the city. Look how much time we do panning shots of the city. It's like all this time is panning shots of the city. And they're these weird organic shapes that I kind of like, and their glimmer to them is really cool. I've seen a lot of cityscapes recently now that we've been watching through these cyberpunk style OVAs. This is one of my favorites. I really get a sense of the scale of it. I feel like this city goes deep. I feel like I'm actually really up high here, and there's room for it. I'm also really intrigued by it. It's like, how much is foot traffic and how much is flying traffic and flying cars and stuff? I don't know. I really liked this one with the, like, organic, almost mushroomy sort of segments to it. I think it's really cool. And then the riverways of lights on the streets. All right, introduce our characters. The cat girls have this awesome, like, really sinister expression to their face. I think a part of it is their lips. Like, they've got the wideness of their lips makes them look more sinister. And then it's the tsurime, right? Like, for sure. And I don't know what else it is about them, but they hit this, like, hard rocker, big hair, latex suit kind of vibe, right? Like, we're sexy, but also gonna kill you. And their attitudes are like they're gonna fucking kill you. But then they also have moments where they're really cute. I think they're really good character designs, because they express so much. They're also inherently sexual. Sensual? Sexy? I'm not sure. It's the way that they hold themselves and stand and walk and move. They're just designed and drawn to be sexy characters, which will then play out later when they utilize that, when they're like, we know that and we're going to use it. I think that's really cool. I like how they feel. But also how they express. These moments aren't the best because we're jittering up and down throughout the scene, but even so, I really like how they express themselves throughout this. Like, throughout, there's really great facial animation, which I think is necessary for selling a lot of the comedic moments. So, we head on in. Don't you see this? Oh, we only treat healthy people here. Oh, weird. Why do you have a gun? Okay, well, he's got a gun. And now we're blamming everything, and then he's going to steal a piss. Torture's good. I don't think we need to address this, really. Torture's bad, and this is meant to be like, holy fuck, this is what the tank police get up to? Jeez. Again, relevant to modernity, but also a classic trope for cops, you know? These are violent, semi-crooked cops who just want to get their score. Welcome to the NYPD, beating a bear up until it admits that it's the murderer. That's what we got here. But just have it in a really fucking stupid way, right? Like, incredibly stupid. Grenades in the room that you're in and stuff. Ridiculous. But that just layers on. It's like, these people are insane. This is like Bond villain level crazy, where it's like, Mr. Bond, we will dangle you with grenades in your mouth and in your butthole over a pit full of grenade-trained hungered alligators who are hungry for grenades, and they're going to eat the grenades from you. It's like, what the fuck are you doing, dude? Stop it. Stop it. Just torture me. Just pull my fingernails out or something. Ridiculous. But it introduces us to the squad in a really nice way, I think. Even Mr. Mustache, everybody's a part of it, right? Like, nobody is not complicit in this. There's no character in this who's like, I don't really know if this is a good idea, guys. I guess the blonde, but he's introduced as being kind of a newbie who's like, are we allowed? Yeah, okay. I guess we're gonna do it. What horror. But what a cool introduction. This is the piece that I think is interesting. Immediately, we get the dynamics of the tank police itself. We understand that this is a place where, once she arrives, she won't fit in. Because she's not going to be like them. He doesn't quite fit in, and they're going to be able to connect, right? The leader of the squad is a fucking asshole and insane, right? He's like, this is good. The Mohawk guy is like our prototype. He's like our average. He's our first introduced character. Average. We got this guy who's got some god stuff going on and introduces that to us, has some speeching to do. Policeman's gotta have guts, just like smart and savvy. So that's what this means. This is what guts looks like. Is bowling with a grenade at a guy with a grenade in his mouth. This is guts. We understand these people really fast. And that's what really impresses me, is that there's so much shock value to this that it's extremely intriguing. You're like, what the fuck? And then it goes through and gives us a ton of information off the back of that. That's cool and clever. It's really tight. Like, really tight. All the dynamics between these characters get established in these couple of minutes. And then we throw our new character in, and we bring her into the dynamic as well. Who are you? What the hell? Well, I'm reassigned. I'm going to be part of the tank police now. That's so cool. And no worries. I'm Leona. It'll be cool. So, she's introduced fully and completely. But then dink, donk, and then explosions. Jesus fuck. The capacity for our characters to get really animated and really expressive is incredible. They go from pretty flat, pretty normal, to extremely animated, extremely expressive. It's really cool. Brenton! Okay. Vap room. Taking weird shit from healthy people. Oh my gosh. I think this scene is awesome. They all run up. Blah, 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 blah. They all run away. Awesome. Just awesome. Give up your weapons and surrender. So they sense the opportunity for having nice lighting and a nice audience. And they do a full choreographed stripping dance number that I think is incredibly well choreographed, genuinely sexy, which is a line that we cross, like, these 80s OVAs, when they try to do a sexy thing, they often end up being really weird. It just doesn't land. But this actually lands as being incredibly sexy. And not just in like a, ooh, they're showing panties, but in like a, these characters are sensual and they know what dance looks like. Like, the animators figured out what dancing was like and then animated it. And it's awesome. It's awesome. And then, ba-bam, we bounce into blah, 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 which is really striking to me, and I think is a direct rip from a film. I think that this moment, even if it's not, it doesn't matter if it is, it stands out to me so much anyway. We put shadows on the character's face down from below, right, because she's jumped up above them, and shadows from below are read as horror, right? Like, horror. We're spooky. Yeah? We put shadows from below, and we turn this character in an instant from highly sexualized, perfectly lit, to horrifying, flashing beacon of death. And she goes from this, like, cute, attractive, lithe, sexy to, like, evil grandma. I'm gonna kill you all, kids, right? Awesome. Awesome. We figured out a moment that we could really capture that would characterize these girls, like, way more than we had before. Before, they're, like, kind of insane and kind of crazy and just kind of going with the flow and being cool criminal girls. And now it's like murder boner, most murdery. Oh, insane. Okay, and then the tank. God, it's a big boy. For some reason, we get to take it out. I don't know. Well, the torture works, I guess. Get lots of false confessions. No, I don't like torture. And it's not torture, it's interrogation. And we start introducing the big mouth. Big mouth and the cutout teeth. I don't know what the cutout teeth are about, but the big mouth is great. And the bouncing cigarette is great. It leans so hard into tropey territory. Lovely. Reminds me of elements of, like, Gunsmith Cats era stuff. So this is important. We're not going to solve every crime. And we're not trying to. We're trying to keep things in the city from getting worse. We're not trying to make things better. So, you got this sort of two sides to the police, right? There's this, like, we're so great and we're the greatest. And then behind that is also like, and we don't really do anything. Nothing really changes, right? We're just a piece of this system and the way that it works now. We torture people, they confess. We make a dent in the crime, but it doesn't make a dent in the crime. It stays the way that it is. But in that is this, like, this need to see it otherwise, to be recognized as really capable and effective and stuff, but they're not. But they're not really capable and effective. Capable and effective at, like, putting one person in jail once in a while, but actually solving crimes, helping the populace, preventing death. I'm not great at that. And he's completely ignores the textbook part. We love our tank first. And then immediately get rear-ended. Yeah. Couldn't avoid it. It's their fault. Oh, their fault. Yes, that makes sense. So, he steps out of his vehicle just to get a gun in the face. And now we're on it. God, the big tank and him running after it is so cool looking. There are all these moments of, like, really expressive character animation and really expressive tank and machine animation as it runs over cars and runs gigantic troughs into the street and runs over people. You're banging up my beautiful baby! Just fully crushing other people's cars. I just want to take a moment here with the speed lines going by to just say, this looks really crisp. Like, these characters look really crisp and good and consistent. I really like the lighting on them. I like how they're styled and how they feel. I like the flow of it all. And the absurdity. I really like this and the momentum. Bash. And then it all crumbles on top. Oh, poor tank. Get our shot off. Blow them out. And they waltz off into the darkness. I love the pile of claims being passed down. It's really funny. We set up so much of the, like, administrative, bureaucratic bullshit in the background in a way that I think is perfect and deeply necessary for a show like this to work. Because there's this tension between what the characters are trying to accomplish and what their department is trying to accomplish and what the department has to accomplish in relation to politics, right? And those are elements that I think are I think those are necessary elements of police procedurals, at least in the background. At least there should feel like there's this pressure from on high, and like our police officers themselves are part of a bigger system where they don't really have control. I think it's really necessary and really cool. It was a male thing! But it was big and kind of bad at being big. No, it's better! It's better! So he kicks her out and says, go be part of child welfare, right? I'm the one who should be crying. I'm the one who should be crying. You broke my tank. And she finally talks back to him, which I love. I love that she's willing to talk back to him and that he doesn't know what the fuck to do about it. It's really great. What? I'll kill you. We're gonna duel on the lawn. Awesome. So we investigate. We find out that the pee is from healthy people. And we're honestly trying to solve like a big deal. But wonder what the bad guy, what Buaka gets from it. Unknown. So that is the scrap of the tank itself, I think. And she's here staring at it, feeling bad. You did love that tank. But don't worry about it. You'll come to like the tank police. And I think it's really cute how he comes and helps. I think it's really awesome. I love the steam bacteria sanitization. I think it's really cool looking. And we all arrive, and then we move into crunching a bunch of scrap together that we're going to turn into her new little tank, the Bonaparte, which we will end up seeing soon. And then at the very end, we have this moment as all these ideas flash by her as we get this order. We sink into her eye. It gets so artistic here. We sink into her eye, which is beautiful looking. And suddenly we're here with the bad guys laughing around here in this psychic space. Well, she didn't even really meet the bad guys, right? It's just happening there. I wonder if this is like a frame of the manga, or a page in the manga that they tried to express this way. And then a setup for something interesting. A man in a ship finding a place where the bacterial cloud's danger level is higher. And that's it. He zooms by and we pull away. Dominion Tank Police. Episode 1. Standouts. Music. The music is great. Animation. The animation is crispy. It really looks good, with the one exception being the vibrating scene, which makes everything kind of look like it's like interpolated, but it's not. I thought it would be. It's not. Awesome. Flow. This was a tight 35 minutes or whatever. It flowed fast. Information hidden. I don't know how to express this or like what words to use, but like you watch a scene and you take away what's on the top layer of it, but there are like 5 other layers underneath that speak to your subconscious and inform you about the characters in the world and the way that characters relate to each other in the world and all these elements and stuff. There's like layered meaning that pulls me into the show and gives it that feeling of verisimilitude, even when it's ridiculous. There's enough there that I think it's fleshed out, that I want to believe that it is. I like the character, the main character. She's plucky and cool. I love the dynamic with the head of the tank division. He's insane and ridiculous. And overall, I just think that this was a blast. Like a big tank cannon blast. A ton of fun, a ton of crazy, really action-packed, and utterly silly, and I really, really liked it. Now, I must go and find the voice actor for Charles Brenton, and also for Leona Ozaki. I want to find both. We've got Hiromi Tsuru is Leona Ozaki. Let's start there. She's Piccolo? Leona Ozaki, Trunks, Future Trunks, Bulma, all of Bulma, and Piccolo. Wow. Meryl in Trigun. She's in so much stuff. Tokin-chan in Anpan Man. Kim Kabirov in Macross. I don't know who that is. It must be one of the Bridge Bunnies. Okay, so she's been about a bajillion voices. And he... Oh, shit. He's the old man in Ping Pong the Animation? He's Aeolo Sagittarius in Saint Seiya. Meh. He's the narrator for Ginga Eiyu Densetsu Gaiden He's the narrator for Ginga Eiyu Densetsu. Whoa. That's a big role. Okay, he's not in Gosenza-sama Banzai, which is what I was thinking. I was thinking that maybe he could be. But he's not. He's in a ton of other stuff, though. From single episodes of Mushishi in more modern times, to a character in Mawaru Penguin Drum, to multiple people in different Lupins. He's been all over the place for a long, long time. Well, thank you very much, sir, for lending your voice to this insane character in Dominion Tank Police. I think he benefits from it immensely and is utterly silly. And I think we're going to move toward wrapping here. I love it. I love it. I didn't think that I would love it this much. I thought it would feel more old, and feel more like, all right, this is fine, it's cool, but it's of its time, it's of its time. It feels dated in the way that I think Appleseed feels a little bit like that. It's like, okay, there's cool stuff going on here, but there's like a lack of gel. It doesn't quite gel. It's not quite going the distance, I can't quite see it becoming a series. This, I know it's going to be a series. I know it's going to be a beloved series, but like, I can really see it. There's so much more here. And the ideas that are present are really interesting. I really like the bacterial cloud, and I wonder where we're going with it. It's an element that's close to something that I want to pull from my own world that I'm building. In that there's like some kind of generalized contagion that's kind of everywhere. So I'm really interested to see how this society has structured itself around that problem. Overall, the Tank Police seem cool. Leona seems awesome. She's a great center for the story. And I'm really excited to see how she clashes with these, with Anapuma and the cat girls and all the other bad guys that we've seen as we go through. I'm really curious to see what kind of villains pop up in a world like this and what they're driven by and how they clash with our weird, not very morally good or justified tank police. I hope you are too. Thanks for joining me. If this is something from your childhood or from the olden times that you're coming and revisiting with me, that's awesome. I'm so glad to hear it. And I'd be really interested in any insights that you have about your first watches through this, or when you watched it, or things that you remember about it. If you're like me and you're joining me for the first time watching through this, that's fucking awesome too. I love diving into the past like this, and I'm so grateful that you're here to join me. There's so much treasure to uncover in these older shows that we just miss out on if we're stuck trying to just focus on what's coming out this month or this year. So I'm really glad to get to dive in and watch more OVAs with y'all. Thanks so much for joining me. See you next week for more, or you can get it a little bit early by going and looking on the Patreon, linked in the description. I'll see you there. Peace. Oh, much love. Peace.